And look, today I'm talking about, we got one more, I think we have one more lesson on the purpose and power of authority.
Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
If you have not gotten this book right here, if you've not gotten this book, then man, you have missed out on a gem. This book is diamond. This book is gold. This book has totally changed my life, and so I'm going to share a little bit of that, not today, but I'm going to share that on the very last episode on this. But this book has totally changed my life. And so what is it that we're going to get into today? We're moving into a new realm, right? We're moving into a new realm, and this new realm is what? It's business. So we start out with family. We moved into the government. We moved into the ecclesia, the church, and now we're moving into business. And so that brings us to the topic. What is the topic for today? The topic for the day is what you have in common with the business. What you have in common with the business. So look, let's jump right into this. So as I was kind of meditating and thinking on things this morning, something crazy happened. I'm not going to get into all the specifics. But something interesting happened. My wife comes to me this morning. She was in tears about something. And yesterday we got news of some passings, and we got, some bunch of bad news. And she's coming into the closet and she's crying. I'm like, what is she crying about? And so she shared something with me, and it was interesting, right? It was interesting what she was, she was actually not actually crying over something being sad, but more so crying over something she's being happy, which that happens to people. And so she comes in here, and I wanted to say something. I didn't know what to say, and I'm sitting there like I wanted to stop and just sit down in the closet and then us have a conversation, but I said, nope, keep on with your day, let her go for it. So I left, she left, and then I was just thinking like, man, because what she was dealing with is something that is near and dear to my heart. And so I went downstairs, got my coffee, I'm sitting there, and I'm about to jump into my reading, and I was still meditating on that idea, and the Holy Spirit moved me. It says, go back upstairs and talk to your wife. So I go upstairs, and we're talking, and Holy Spirit's working through me. Guys, this is what happens when you discover your authority, at least your real authority, spiritual authority. This is what's most important. Look, just to be gifted at something, that's not enough. You've got to have the spiritual connection, which leads you exactly to where you are supposed to be in life. And there it is. Holy Spirit's leading me. And I had a conversation with my wife, and that's pretty much what's bringing me to this topic for today, is that what we have in common with business is serious. We have something very in common with business. What does a business represent? A business represents an idea. A business represents some solution to a problem. A business then offers that solution in form of a product. Right? So the business, in order for a business to be a business, it has to have a product. There has to be something that the business is using in the marketplace to help some other business person, whatever, to actually have something that they want. So a business has to have at least one product. And there it is. When a business has a product, right? One of the things that you have to learn about understanding the realm of business is that you got to be honest. Everything has to be honest. I'm gonna tell you, man, this is a tough one, because when in a world of white lies, yes, you heard about those white lies. You may have used the white lies. I've white lied before. In a world of white lies, you actually can't have any white lies. You don't want to have any of those things. You want to have nothing but honest transactions, honest things happening in your business, because that's going to help you to thrive. Who doesn't want to thrive as a business owner? Don't you want to thrive? So when you start looking at, if you're in business, you want to look at every transaction. You want to look at everything that's happening in this business, because you don't want to have anything dishonest in there. Because if you got dishonest things in there, if you got shady things in there, that's going to come back to bite you at some point. It always does. It always does. So when you're designing your products and services, you're designing your products and services to solve a problem, not to put money in your pocket. See, who hasn't fallen for that before? Who hasn't started a business with their pockets being the main purpose? Man, I had that purpose. Got laid off. Figured I started business doing accounting. Put the money in my pocket. I didn't know anything else. It wasn't about solving a problem for me. Now I've learned. I've elevated since. But it wasn't about that in the beginning. But how many of you have started businesses? At least try to start a business, maybe network marketing. That's probably the easiest business for most people to get into. You may have gotten into a network marketing business and you got in there and it didn't put any money in your pocket. And you said, this didn't work. Well, because you wasn't trying to solve a problem. You got to have honest. It has to be an honest transaction in there. But Jay, there's people in there that's dishonest. Absolutely. But dishonest never lasts. It always falls apart. I've seen it happen. I've seen people go up and come right down because they were dishonest somewhere along the way. So look, you design your business to have honest transactions within the business, and by having these honest transactions, you're now creating this business to thrive. Right now, you're still wondering, well, what do we have in common with the business? I'm getting there. We haven't gotten there yet. And then there's one other thing I want to mention about a business is that a business has people in there, right? In this realm of business, now the church, ecclesia has people, the government has people, family has people. Look at that. Look at how even in the realm of business, there's people. And here's the interesting thing about when I was looking at some of the scriptures and word that was talking or just kind of leading me to understand this realm is that it mentions the employees as slaves. A slave is the same as an employee. Are you serious? Yes. This is where you have to really be careful, because what if you are a slave to the wrong thing? What if you are a slave to a business that doesn't have its best interest for you? Just because they're paying you may not mean that they have their best interest for you. You have to look long term here. You have to say, man, am I going to be okay? Is this business setting me up in 30 years to actually have everything that I'd love to have? If it's not setting you up for that, then you got to understand what that business is representing. It's representing solving a problem right then and there, which is they're allowing you to develop. They're paying you some money right now for the service that you give them. But it's your responsibility now as the slave of that business, because you are a slave. You're a slave of the business, no matter what. You can't, I don't care what they call you. Employee means slave. I get to pay you the specified amount for you to do everything that I ask you to do. And if you don't do it, look, I can get rid of you. You are a slave. We might as well just call them slaves. That's a stronger word. It's absolutely stronger. But if you actually called yourself a slave to your job, you say, man, I ain't no slave. I ain't going to be at that job forever. They're not going to have me at that job for 40 years, 30 years. And then at the end, I barely have anything. Not at all. Not at all. I'm getting to the point. We haven't gotten there yet. So here it is. You're a slave to your business. But look, even as a slave, you must do the job well. The employer, if you are the employer, you must employ well. You must actually, even though they're your slaves, you must take very good care of your slaves. You know, as a business owner, a lot of times when you go in thinking small, and many business owners have done this. When you go in thinking small, I was thinking small. not realizing that and thinking small, that's actually going to hurt my employees. It's going to hurt my vendors and partners. It's going to hurt the potential, the people that could really use the jobs and that could use the services and the products that we offer by thinking small. So as a business owner, your job is to make the opportunity big. Your job is to help everyone, give everyone their reward, like really work and work and work, give them their opportunities to have what they want. Thought I stopped that from ringing. Look at that. That's the wrong phone. I'm picking up the wrong phone. But at any rate, I hate when the phone rings. But yes, so guys, it's our job as employees I'm talking about employers is to create an environment for our employees. Yep, I'm getting to my point. We're almost there. And so look, as you're studying your life, you are working to have the authority. You're working to discover your authority and who you're created to be. You just want to understand these realms, right? The realm of family, that's the foundation of everything. The realm of government, right? You want to understand that. The realm of church, which is a conglomerate. That's a group of people. Like I'm a part of ecclesia where I'm in that new government entity. That's a new government entity where we just get to now use our authority to help solve problems and provide solutions in the marketplace. And then I take the things that I've discovered inside the ecclesia and now I use them in business. Because what we have in common, even before we go into business, with a business, is that we are a business. Yes, you are a business in and of itself. And that's the thing that I was kind of talking to my wife about, is that we represent our business. Whatever the business says that it is, our business says that it's about healthy. Our business is the healthy accountants. So the first two people, which are the two people who are the owners and employees, we're the owners and employees of this business, then that means that we must represent the business in that manner, which means what is healthy? Healthy life, healthy, spiritually in the mind, healthy in our physical well-being, healthy, family, healthy finances, right? All these things. We must represent that first. And what we were talking about this morning had a lot to do with what, or how we weren't representing. I told us this, wow, we need to just stop everything, because if we are not living up to the identity that the business has created for us, the business is a separate entity, has created for us, then what the business is it will not be able to help all those millions of people. And I say millions because millions of people hear this podcast. Millions of people are going to read our books. Millions of people are going to get an opportunity to be exposed to who we are. And even though we're separate from our business, we are businesses in and of themselves. Is that we carry what the business is carrying. So if the business is carrying a healthy environment, then if we bring our unhealthy environment into the business, then the business is actually going against what it's supposed to do and who it's supposed to be. Think about that. That is so powerful. And that was something powerful that Holy Spirit opened the door for me today and said, son, you guys have to get yourselves right. I'm here to help, is what he says. I'm here to help, but you have to do your part. And when he convicted me, the Holy Spirit convicted me this morning of something that I'd missed. Big, huge. I'm sitting here doing all the things. I'm reading the word. I'm talking about, I'm studying. I'm pushing, I'm sharing, I'm teaching. And he says, you missed one thing. I said, wow. Are you serious? I missed. He says, yeah, that one area that you did not allow me to help you strengthen is why you're kind of still right where you are, which isn't totally messed up. I'm not in a bad spot. But he says, if you're going to live up to what I've created you to be, son, I've created you to do many things. But if you're not going to be that person, you won't be able to do them. See, guys, this whole lesson on authority, check this out. It was for one person. Everything starts with one. You're here. You've been able to kind of go with me on the journey. It took me all the way to the end of the book to discuss. Holy Spirit is so awesome. God is beautiful because he wants to grow you in such a way that he allows time in between your growth. He does not allow for you to just go boom. He says, no, I need them to see everything before, because that's an experience. I have an experience now that I can use as I teach, as I continue to discover. Took me the whole book. I've got one more lesson in the book, and then the final lesson will be, where do we go? How do we move forward? How do you move forward? That'll be the final lesson. I don't even know what that is. So look, what you have in common with a business is that you are a business. And because you are a business, you must discover your authority. And as you discover your authority, then you must live to become who that authority represents. And as you represent that authority, your life is changed. And by your life changing, and you realizing that you are a business, you will create a business so that that business can then change the lives of people outside of you. You see the difference? You start the business because you have a life that can now go into a business, that business, separate from you, can go and do way more than you ever could do. You are a businessman, is what Jay-Z said. So guys, I appreciate you for joining me for another episode of the Account for Life podcast. You are business. And look, I'm so excited. I'm Jay Moore. I'm the Healthy Accountant. And my life's work is to help you to account for your life. God bless. And I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.